This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Walking down the sidewalk, kicking my feet as I'm moving to the music. Step to the beat. I woke up today, canceled all my plans, and I stepped right outside with my guitar in my hands, and the notes became loud as the sound caressed the air, and I kicked it up a notch as I strolled without a care, cause I'm going down the road to a brand new place, and I'll get there with a smile on my face. Yeah, so lift me up, I'm moving on, singing and dancing while I play my song. Yeah, I'm having a good time, keeping it going. Come on, clap your hands and won't you sing along, and now let's take it up high. Give our dreams their wings to fly. Gotta keep the fire, keep the fire burning, keep the hope alive. You gotta keep it turning.
This is Detroit's Progressive Talk, 1310 WDTW, Dearborn, Detroit.
Stay tuned for the Medical Marijuana Radio Show, brought to you by the American Medical Marijuana Professionals on Gratiot and Roseville. For certifications, call 1-877-RX-42099.
The comments, ideas, and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the show participants only. Nothing stated in this program reflects the ideas, opinions, or beliefs of this radio station and or Clear Channel Radio.
Maybe they donated some money to a great cause and it was significant. Or maybe they rolled up their sleeves and got a bunch of people to sign a petition somewhere. Or maybe they organized an election somewhere at some local city and got something done. Or maybe they helped out a sick person in some significant way. Or maybe they held a food drive, for crying out loud. Who knows? But your friend, your activist friend, should definitely be honored on stage in front of a live studio audience with the Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. That's right, it's the first annual Buddy Awards happening at the end of January 29th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Clarion Hotel in Ann Arbor. It's going to be broadcast live. Honor your friend. Nominate them for $25. They get a certificate of nomination. They get invited to the ceremony. They'll go up on stage and be honored on stage in front of that audience. And then at the end, we announce the Buddy Award for the Achievement of the Year Award winner. Nominate your friend at RadioWeedshow.com today.
The Green Bee Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Green Bee Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Green Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Green Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Green Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at mmmgreenbee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
Well, this formula is specifically to grow cannabis.
That's Ray Kogo for Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients.
Now, everybody knows that large buds and tight buds come from genetics, and then the amount of light you use. The other part is having the correct nutrients that the plant's going to use. Mine specifically to grow cannabis, so it's going to get everything that it needs.
Ray knows what you may not. Those nutrient companies you can get in most grow shops are not cannabis specific. That means they take the stuff out of the bloom that your plant needs in bloom. You can get Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients too. It's just 2 1-gallon jugs that make over 600 gallons of nutrients, all for less than $100. See the difference for yourself.
More trichomes, bigger buds, faster growth, and for less money.
Go to CANNABISformula.com or call Ray direct at 517-375-8998. That's 517-375-8998. Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The patient's place for medical marijuana education and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast. 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
The following presentation is controversial and may be offensive to some audiences.
When you see that smiling face, you know what it is. Time to take Let It Rip on the road. Tonight, legalizing pot. That is the topic.
Charlie Langton went to Royal Oak to see what Fox 2 viewers have to say about the proposal.
Do you think marijuana should be legalized?
Yes.
Why is that?
It'll eliminate a lot of problems with the war in Mexico. It'll eliminate overspending from the government.
Medical purposes, yes. Others, no.
A lot more violence and stuff from liquor than marijuana. I don't know anybody who smoked a joint and beat their old lady up.
They're still going to use it one way or the other.
What kind of message is it saying for our children? I mean, it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. If everyone in the world is doing pot, then we might as well legalize it.
People are doing it, and we might as well make it legal so that we don't have to spend our time and energy fighting it all the time. I think, yeah, some people are taking advantage. You know, medicinal marijuana, everybody needs it, but do you really need it?
Marijuana might help that pain there.
After watching The Hangover 2, I think marijuana should be illegal.
If you were driving, how do you test someone and how high they are?
Dogs, not drugs. So you're for dogs, not drugs. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly. That's the way my mother raised me.
Michigan's a great agricultural state, and we could have a nice opportunity to grow some legalized product.
Drugs are wrong. Just say no.
We might as well legalize crack cocaine, and we might as well legalize ecstasy and all of those other date rape drugs. We might as well just cross the line. What is America coming to?
I think alcohol is worse than marijuana, to be honest.
No comment.
Countdown to launch. The medical marijuana
Launch commit.
radio show.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Power clear.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Show is a production of the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana Show. 855-MMM Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal. Hey. You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana Show. 855-MMM Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal.
Folks, Denise ain't here, but we are still live in Detroit.
Okay, Steve is the host with the co-host Denise. Starting at noon Saturdays every week. Yes, we keeping you legal. Legislators and lawyers, doctors and the growers. The show is for the people. Michigan medical marijuana, no hassle. We talk about anything, any issue we can handle. Call us up and let us know what is on your mind. And make sure when you do it legal every time. Hey. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMM Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal. Hey. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMM Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
Folks, welcome to another Medical Marijuana Radio Show for Saturday. This is the last day of 2011. That's what it is. Saturday, December 31st, 2011. I'm Steve Greene, patient and caregiver and radio host. Normally by my side, Denise Policello. Where are you, Denise? What's going on with you? Are you still on the face of the planet? What's happening? I'm not sure where she's at. I thought she would. Maybe we'll get her to call today. I don't know. Is she still a co-host? The mystery's in the air. We're trying to figure it out. Also, Rick Thompson. Boy, he was going to be here today, too. I think he got stuck at work. So we're here by ourselves. on the radio show. Well, by myself, me, myself, and I. Doing the radio show for the last time this year and looking forward to what's coming up next year. Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff coming up. It's a lot of stuff. It's just, wow. The stuff I see on the calendar coming up flabbergasts me. But it's, I think, and we'll reveal what I'm talking about specifically right after the first break. Hopefully we'll have Rick Thompson from Forum Magazine, Big Daddies, Chesterfield Township. I think he's out there right now working in Chesterfield Township. Hopefully he'll get on the show a little bit later. Jamie Lowel, scheduled to be on the program in just a bit. Your calls, if you want to be on the program, you can do it too. 810-423-2350. If that line's busy, you can call 248-848-1310. We are on 1310 AM, Detroit's Progressive Talk, every Saturday from noon until 1 o'clock. We've done this since April, guys. Trying to make sure we can still be here for you. Bill Schuette would not like to have it that way, let me tell you. I'm just going to warn you, he would like to have it differently. So would the federal government. They would like to have this differently as well. I don't know why it's so anti-American. Really. It's driving me nuts. Let me tell you this also. For those of you who are not Billy Bong fans, not Bill Schuette fans in the state of Michigan, I'm speaking to our Michigan audience today. Normally we're on the internet all week long, talking to a much more broad audience. But today we're talking specifically to our lovely Michigan people because there's so much to talk about. Now Attorney General Bill Schuette has changed the focus of this subject inside the state of Michigan from medical marijuana to legalize marijuana. Did you hear the Charlie Langton piece on the front of the show? If you're listening on the internet, you might not have. I don't even know if the people can listen on the internet today. Boy, the iPhone application's all screwed up for the Ustream. Hopefully we'll, get that ironed out. It's driving me nuts here inside the building. I'm finding an answer for that, or I'm going to pull the plug. Tell you that. I do a dance every day going up into the studio once a week to get this thing up and running. And I get up in here and the darn signal's just not there. I can't stand it. I'm tired of that. I need to fix that somehow. Anyway, so here we go with the show. What's on the show today? Well, how about the Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards? We'll talk about that a little bit. That's something that's coming up here in January. And folks, running out of time to get you registered for the program. If you want, for sure you should be registering a friend. Somebody who's rolled up their sleeves and done something good for the community. I mean, if you've got a guy in the Compassion Club or a guy that runs a Compassion Club, maybe they did a food drive, they did an Adopt a Highway thing, maybe they got some ballots, initiatives, signatures, maybe they did something significant for a particular patient, maybe they made a donation, whatever it was. You guys should be honored and recognized, I believe, for having done something good. Having gone above and beyond. This gives incentive to other people to want to do the same. This is how we got here with the program in the first place, despite the fact that we've got weaponry pointed at us. The laser beams are focused on us. They just as soon toss a grenade into the kitty and hope the whole thing blows up. Not going to let that happen. We're going to fight back. Yes, Bill Schuette, there are weed warriors. There are Minutemen here in this war, and we're going to fight it, like it or not. Politically, we're going to arm ourselves. There's a way to do this, and we're going to do it right. You can try and take control of the conversation. It's not going to happen. So this is what we'll be talking about. If you want to nominate somebody for an achievement award, I think you should go to the front page of RadioWeedShow.com right now and do it. Click on the front page. Did Bobby get that stuff up? I don't know. Every week I'm wondering. He did. He changed the front page. So you should be able to... No, he didn't. Bobby, what's wrong with you? Robert, good Lord. I gave him the new stuff to put on. It's not there. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I just doing this by myself? Is that it? I'm just entertaining myself? Got a whole website, pay a guy to do it? What's going on? I don't get it. That's something we should look forward to in the new year, isn't it? Making sure the web guy's doing his job. That would be a good thing. So we're getting ready to go to break. If you want to be on the program, folks, It's going to be a fun one, I'm telling you. Just warning you. 810-423-2350. Don't go away. Much more to come on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Steve and Denise will be right back on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
January 2012. Sunday, the 29th. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The time. The Clarion Hotel down in Ann Arbor on Jackson Road, 2900 Jackson Avenue. In Ann Arbor is the place for the first annual Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. Broadcast live in front of a studio audience. That's right. You should be nominating your friend right now to be in that audience. And up on stage receiving a certificate of nomination for some kind of great achievement that they did throughout the year, helping people with their cause for medical marijuana. You can do it right now at RadioWeedShow.com for $25. That's what happens. Your nominee goes up on stage, and then the Academy of Activists, 75 of them, votes on this for the Buddy Awards. The first annual Buddy Awards. Nominate your friend at RadioWeedShow.com. That's RadioWeedShow.com today. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. Getpotid.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's getpotid.com. The Ohm of Medicine is a state-of-the-art facility in Ann Arbor where art and passion meet patience and safe quality access. Get to the place that has top-of-the-line security, atmosphere, art, and most importantly, a highly trained and caring, compassionate staff. And the convenience is clear. Ohm of Medicine is easy to get to in downtown Ann Arbor. Private, well-maintained, handicap-accessible restrooms, convenient, secure parking in 2 nearby lots with complimentary validation. The Ohm of Medicine. Log on to omofmedicine.org. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. The patient's place for medical marijuana education and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
When I was young, I knew something was wrong. My mother would forget to pick me up from school.
Drugs and alcohol may make you forget your problems. And more.
Then she remembered something. Me! My mom worked hard to be in recovery. And now she is here for me. Hi, Mom!
You ready? Let's go! For drug and alcohol treatment for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Hell yeah! Kicking ass and taking names, Steve Greene on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Saturdays noon till 1 on AM 1310, Detroit's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the program. Got some people on the line. Going to go ahead and see if we can talk to Mike Mcshane. Welcome to, it's Red, is that Red Dog? Who we got on the phone?
That is Red Dog. Steve, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the program, sir.
Glad to be here. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Still cancer-free, Michael?
I am. I'm so happy about that. I was on Facebook yesterday just reveling in the fact that we put cancer down with medical marijuana. How does that sound to you?
That's very cool, dude. I mean, I'm happy, number one, that we've got somebody like you out there who was in the public face, putting his medical stuff aside, putting his personal pride aside, and just showing people, look, this medicine is a positive, good, healthy thing. I'm evidence of it. Hello, wake up, look at me, poke and prod me. Hello. I mean,
yeah. I think it's the biggest thing in the world. Public opinion really hasn't, gotten any real traction on this thing. Everybody's waiting for modern medicine to wave their magic wand, and
we're talking about
25 years. I don't think they're coming for us.
Talking about curing cancer?
Yeah.
And I just, I got one name for you. Ever heard of the name Kevin Trudeau?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Kevin?
A little bit. He's on the program, isn't he? The federal program?
No, Kevin. Kevin does. If you recall, if you ever watched late night television, you'll see Kevin Trudeau often hawking some of his books. And the reason that I mention his books is for a couple of reasons, Michael. Number one, a lot of times he's talking about natural cures the government doesn't want you to know about.
Right.
And one of the reasons I mention it is because the federal government raided Kevin Trudeau some number of years ago. I think it was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I can't remember. They came out to his, I think he lives in the mountains somewhere. They came out to his mountain home way out in the sticks and raided his house and took his books because he was making an FDA claim, a cure.
Jesus.
This is a guy just selling books, for crying out loud. They did a no-knock raid on him.
Yeah, it's like a Fahrenheit 451 thing, huh?
Yeah, I just can't believe that the government has got such a, stiffy about this that they've really got to come after people like that.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. Well, anyway, so Kevin also has a show out in California on KCAA out there. I think it's Loma Linda. He does a podcast and he does a show kind of like this one. But it's not medical marijuana related. But he does talk about his stuff. But Kevin Trudeau, you look him up. He's been raided by the feds over making a claim about a cure.
Mm.
And this is what I'm concerned about, Michael, with this group. That somebody's going to say, "Oh, cancer cure," and that they're going to come raiding after you, people. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I've thought about it, but I think that the message outweighs my personal risk.
Right.
And I'm willing to put it out there. It is downright silly what's going on. I just heard yesterday, not that they're legal yet, but in Chicago they want to levy Illinois, a $1 million fine for high-end cannabis that they're calling Kush, and 25 years in prison. Now, if you're in a collective and you're doing this with a group, it's a $5 million fine.
Hey, wait a minute, you're talking about in Chicago?
Yeah, in Illinois and in the Chicago area.
Well, that's weird because they don't even have a cannabis law in Chicago, dude. Illinois is not part of the group yet.
I know.
So why would they be talking about collectives and high-end marijuana and all this stuff with, I don't know, and it seems like, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Illinois one of the states that's starting to look at, the whole medical angle on this? Or, I thought they were doing that.
Well, I think they are, but, they got a Bill Schuette guy there. And,
for crying out loud.
Yeah, and he's come up with a $1 to $5 million fine. And the criteria for this Kush, the cop, it was a part video story, and the cop came out and responded to the reporter's question. Well, how do you tell what super pot is? Oh, it's purple. It smells bad.
Maybe dropping the.
Yeah.
We got to be careful about that. So no, you're absolutely right. The idea that they would do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That they would target things in this way, it's just so clownishly silly. I just want to laugh, but it's not funny.
No, it's not, because, it really comes down to, criminal charges at the end with these people, which is very serious. I have no way of holding off that kind of an assault, with unlimited, firepower from law enforcement. I've got, a couple $100 in the bank. So, I'm not going to win that battle. So it is very concerning. But again, I just feel as though that, my message is more important than theirs. The drug war failed, and marijuana cures cancer. So, where do you draw the line?
Well, hopefully, they don't draw the line like they did it with Kevin Trudeau and come raiding people over the idea that we would make a claim like this. Or at least we're not publishing a book about it yet. But I would caution people to do so. But even more importantly, I think as time goes on, it's very important that people do see that there are people being cured of cancer, both skin cancers, internal cancers, brain cancers. I mean, all kinds of cancers are being held in remission and completely being wiped out in many cases by the benefits offered by medical cannabis. And we need to make sure that people see that and understand it and believe it, because it's true. Look, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe this crap unless I see evidence of it in multiple fold, and this is definitely the case here.
Well, I wouldn't have believed it myself unless I saw it, because, with my history of cancer, I've had it 5 times, and it's a very difficult disease,
right.
Mentally and physically, financially, and I'm a real veteran of this, and it was almost by default that I went with the medical marijuana. I didn't have health insurance. I didn't have enough tissue on my face to do any more surgeries. There was a lot of good reasons why. I just didn't want to have cancer again and go through all that, and what are people using to cure cancer with? What component? How's this working? Really quickly, because I've got some other callers we got to move on to before we run out of time. Yeah, real quick. It was a non-euphoric. It wasn't a situation where I was getting high doing this. I just simply used a oil from the marijuana plant and applied it to my skin. We're talking about a physical application, external application to one's self of a Simpson oil. Yes. Simpson oil, yeah. It's a derivative. It's a natural oil from the marijuana plant. It's made just like perfume. And with that said, I just wiped it on with my finger twice a day. And when I say it cured cancer, I didn't do any other treatments. I didn't do any radiation. I didn't do any chemo. All I did was wake up in the morning and go to bed at night with a drop of this stuff on the area. And actually, I did make a soap out of it, too, because I have a lot of just bad skin in general. So it cured up all that. I had a radiation burn on the side of my face from an earlier cancer round. So just everything good. And starting on January 15th, I'm going to do the same treatment for 90 days with the intention to cure AIDS. So wow. There you go, a double whammy from Reddog. There you that is the big giant double whammy, isn't it, Reddog? Mike Mcshane, thanks for calling and being on the program. Thanks for having the courage to do what you do. I'm going to see if I can't dig into my pocket and nominate you for a Medical Marijuana Achievement Award. I think we should do it. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. Okay. Happy New Year, Michigan. Happy New Year to you, Mike. It's Reddog on the program. I've got another couple of calls here to go to. Let's really quickly take Sharkie. Sharkie's calling from another state. We want to make sure that he's not hanging online and paying the extra toll here. Sharkie, welcome to the show. Hey, Steve. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Medical Mike had his horn in here blowing it earlier. I don't like to blow my own horn. I like to blow other people's horns, but that's besides the point. How about we talk about your horn? What's going on out there in your part of the world, Sharkie? Well, absolutely nothing. Nothing? That's why Come I moved here. I live in a ghost town, Steve. Basically, I sit here watching what's going on in the rest of the world. Well, I know. I'm not literally. I'm saying, figuratively. What's going on in the western part of the world here? You're our western eye, Sharkie. Well, the worst thing right now is that Joe Grumbine was convicted of 13 felony charges in Long Beach. And he's facing a long time in jail. Now, mind you, just so people catch up really quick, the brief story behind Joe, he was in a combined grow, yes?
Yes, he was in a collective, and
wait a minute, and also, Joe did get to use his medical marijuana defense in front of a jury, and they convicted him.
Well, if you call putting a tarp between the jury and the defense, a fair jury trial, then
When you say what you putting what between what?
Well, the judge had put a tarp between the jury and the defense.
Wait a minute, he put a physical tarp?
Yes.
What? Wait, okay, you're telling me something I didn't know about. He actually hung a curtain between the jury and the defense team.
That's correct.
And why was this?
So the jury wouldn't see the expressions on the supporters' faces every time that a blatant lie over the medical marijuana industry.
Oh, he didn't want the jurors to see the people in the courtroom?
That's correct.
Oh, so this has definitely got some appeal issues, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, the whole problem is, and something that the law enforcement actually goes by, is that it's hard to afford these appeals. You're talking a $40,000 appeal.
Wow.
And where somebody they've already drugged through the court system for 2.5 years they've gone through every cent that he has. So
it seems to me that if you're not going to allow people in the courtroom, you clear the courtroom. You don't hang a curtain.
Well, they would gladly done that too if they could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, because there's some protection against it.
That's where we're at.
Well, see, if there's a protection against it, he's still underlyingly thwarted the protection by hanging a sheet. This is the kind of smoke and mirrors, you guys, our government is willing to go to in any part of the world of this country to make sure that it doesn't matter the truth of the matter. What matters is you're convicted because you got pot. That's what matters. Oh, it makes me so mad, Sharkie.
We should all be mad about this. It's not, Joe's in one of the long line of people, nonviolent criminals or nonviolent people that have been convicted.
Right.
And basically, why our prisons are filled with 60% of nonviolent criminals because of the drug war, and the drug war has to end. And Joe's just the latest victim. And people like us don't stand up and speak out or make a phone call at least.
Joe wasn't.
I'm a nobody. I make my phone calls, I send out my letters, and I get responses.
Joe's the guy's name that's on the front of this, but he's got friends that are in the same boat that he is, aren't they?
Oh yeah, he has.
In the same situation, the same exact charges.
And in fact, once they found him guilty, there was a whole lot of subpoenas being sent out to many dispensaries in California. They're going to use this conviction to support
poster child. We did it, guys. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
So, how can we support Joe? Is there a legal defense fund? Is there a way
people
can?
Go to onehumansolution.com. He has many ways that you can support him. From buying a support ribbon to they're having an auction to send him something that he can auction off. Like I said, the main thing is they get you for everything: your money, your families. They destroy your life, and Joe is there for fighting. He didn't take the plea. They offered him a plea deal with no jail time. He wouldn't take it because he doesn't believe he's a felon. But they railroaded him right on through the court system. Anybody that sees what they did to Joe, and no matter if the man made a couple mistakes or not, because in any business or anything in life, people make mistakes. But they don't deserve to go to jail for years.
Well, it's not even jail. We're talking about prison. Jail's like less than a year. Prison is when you're sticking around there for, till you start growing a Rip Van Winkle beard.
Well, he's going to be doing many years, unfortunately.
Not if we got anything to say about it. Look, we got to pull up our bootstraps and make sure people like Joe don't suffer like this.
Well, yeah. And unfortunately, there's going to, there's pushback against.
If they're going to do it to Joe, they're going to do it to you and me. And Joe loses his voice once he's behind bars. He doesn't get a chance to talk about things.
Well, it's been done to me, Steve. So I understand. I've lost a lot. I've been chased. I feel like the Frankenstein monster sometimes with the torches behind you. And the main thing that we have to do is come together and fight this injustice. And, the government is just too controlling, and they need to be put in line. We vote them. We pay these people, okay? And I'm getting tired of paying people to put nonviolent criminals in jail.
It's have you ever seen that show on Fringe, like the Fringe Division? You ever seen that show on Fox? Or you probably haven't.
No,
it's like a Fringe. It's like kind of like X-Files-ish, except it's a little more than UFO is. It's something else. It's a whole different thing. But this is like that. It's kind of like some crackpot weird thing is going on. It's very strange. People are in control that shouldn't have control about this, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I just say follow the money.
Yeah.
When you follow the money in law enforcement, when you follow the money in the judicial system, when you follow the money in politics, it's just enough to make you go insane.
Sharkie, we've been busy with the holidays. Between Christmas and New Year's, our last show I believe was on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. In preparation for doing this one, nothing all week. I've been busy with all kinds of holiday stuff and also stuff in the background to make this program bigger. We're going to launch a network. We'll be talking about that on our next show coming up actually on Monday when we do the regular internet show. Sharkie, thanks for calling and being a part of the program. We don't want to lose track of you. Please keep in touch with us because we've got so much to do in very short order at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely. Legalization in 2012.
All right. Thanks, Sharkie. We'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year to you.
Take care, bro.
Jamie Lowell coming up on the program next. It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
More of your calls next on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
All right, listen up. This is really, really important. It's the first annual ever Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. It's the Buddy Awards happening at the end of January. Folks, we're running out of time to get your friends nominated. You should be nominating your friend. You and your friends should be in the seats at the ceremony, live in front of that studio audience. It's going to be broadcast live, guys. It's happening at the end of January. We're running out of time. January 15th is the deadline for nominations. You can do this today. Nominate your friend right now at RadioWeedShow.com. For $25, your nominee will be invited to the ceremony and honored on stage with a presentation of a nominee certificate. And that procession will be followed by the Activist Academy's choice for the Buddy Award of the Year. Now, this is all happening and broadcast live, and it's happening at the end of January, January 29th, in fact, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Ann Arbor. Nominate your friend at RadioWeedShow.com. That's RadioWeedShow.com today.
The Green Bee Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Green Bee Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Green Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Green Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Green Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
Well, this formula is specifically to grow cannabis.
That's Ray Kogo for Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients.
Now, everybody knows that large buds and tight buds come from genetics, and then the amount of light you use. The other part is having the correct nutrients that the plant's going to use. Mine specifically to grow cannabis, so it's going to get everything that it needs.
Ray knows what you may not. Those nutrient companies you can get in most grow shops are not cannabis specific. That means they take the stuff out of the bloom that your plant needs in bloom. You can get Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients too. It's just 2 1-gallon jugs that make over 600 gallons of nutrients, all for less than $100. See the difference for yourself.
More trichomes, bigger buds, faster growth, and for less money.
Go to CANNABISformula.com or call Ray direct at 517-375-8998. That's 517-375-8998. Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients. The patient's place for medical marijuana education and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Groh. Targowski and Groh have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Groh toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Groh, 800-957-1069. The Ohm of Medicine is a state-of-the-art facility in Ann Arbor where art and passion meet patience and safe quality access. Get to the place that has top-of-the-line security, atmosphere, art, and most importantly, a highly trained and caring, compassionate staff. And the convenience is clear. Ohm of Medicine is easy to get to in downtown Ann Arbor. Private, well-maintained, handicap-accessible restrooms, convenient, secure parking in 2 nearby lots with complimentary validation. The Ohm of Medicine. Log on to omofmedicine.org. Look, they're doing it in Canada. They're getting ready to try and do it in California. They're getting ready to try and do it in other places across this country as well. We're talking about legalization, the legalization campaign. It's coming up in 2012. We tried not to talk about it, didn't we, Jamie? Jamie Lowel on the show. Welcome to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show, Jamie.
Hello.
Hey, Jamie. So, we tried not to say it. I don't know. They've been trying to not talk about what's being talked about now. What's being talked about is it's the campaign to legalize, isn't it?
It is. It's a repeal initiative. It's for a constitutional amendment. It's going to kick off officially. Now, the official spokespeople is Matt Abel, Brandy Zink, and Sharmy Golson.
Awesome.
I'm going to regurgitate a couple of headlines that I know, but really all information needs to be obtained from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tried not to talk about it, but it's been published in the papers. How can you not talk about it now?
It is, and that's been widely said. And I'll just kind of tell you what I do know, that January 12th will be the day that signatures start being collected. There'll be some type of a kickoff. There's some talk about doing it around the Hall of Justice in Lansing, in which there'll be a Supreme Court hearing.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a Supreme Court hearing coming up in January, or mid month here, isn't there?
Yes, there is. It's People versus King and People versus Kalinek. I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced, but there's 2 medical marijuana cases that they are going to hear arguments on. I believe it's January 12th. Somebody should double check that.
We'll put it up on RadioWeedShow.com. But the idea here is that this whole business with the Attorney General Billy Bong fighting back Bill Schuette, BS, doing his campaign against the people's will for profiteering purposes, I might add.
Yeah.
It's coming to a head at the Supreme Court inside the state of Michigan. Finally, the first few cases are being heard. It doesn't mean we'll have a decision right away, and I'm afraid on the heels of what we're talking about, it might not much matter, might it, Jamie? With this legalization campaign.
Issues, depending on how they look at it and how they rule on it, the immediate issues that they're looking at, will have an effect in some areas, but not a profound effect on kind of some of the issues, like from our perspective, that we're working on immediately.
Because look, the whole reason that they're doing this legalization campaign isn't because necessarily that was what the initial idea was, to legalize cannabis, although it's not a bad one. We're doing this because there's no other choice but than to suffer the ramifications of the whims and wills of people like Bill Schuette. Because they're going to tear apart the law no matter what we do as a people's initiative, or expressing the people's will on this subject.
Yeah, that's what's being said. I mean, Sharmy has talked about the obvious strategy that that the judicial system was going to have to be used in the mix. Very difficult to get the legislature to get a supermajority and significantly change things that way. And so the judicial angle was definitely put in the works early on, so that they would try to get a case to the Supreme Court as soon as possible. And there's a lot of concern over this particular composition of the Supreme Court, but it will be telling to see how they handle these
cases. There'll be other ones down the pike that I think have more
bigger impact
effect on the Medical Marijuana Act, like People versus McQueen out of Isabella County.
Yep.
When they get a hold of that. Now, everything that we're talking about here, all the stuff coming up in 2012, at the foundation of it is a vote. So there are Supreme Court seats available in 2012, and depending on what they do with this and how people feel about it, we have an opportunity to preserve or change the composition of the Supreme Court to put us in a better position.
Based on this subject alone, I think people will absolutely aim their targets or aim their political weapons at some of these people on the Supreme Court if they're going to start tearing apart the people's will.
And we have an opportunity to answer that in November of 2012.
That's right.
Conceivably make the change or do what we need to do to make our chances the best by the time they start hearing some of these really overreaching cases that will effectively change the act one way or the other to a degree that could make it unusable for us if they are that type of a Supreme Court that some people fear that they are. So that's one of the reasons why Tory Clark and Bob Redden's case, why their lawyers moved to remove it from the Supreme Court and bring it back up through the lower courts was the concern what they may do.
Right,
with
absolutely.
The act via that case. So we'll have to see what they do. They're starting to hear the cases now.
Well, and so we're looking for two things going on. We got the Supreme Court looking at the existing act, the People's Michigan Medical Marijuana Act of 2008, and then also looking at passing a petition drive. How many signatures we need? It's like 322,000 some odd signatures inside of 6 months?
Yep, over a course of 180 days, starting around January 12th and ending around July 9th, I believe. Of course, those things should be double-checked. And repealtoday.org.
Repealtoday.org is the official website.
Yeah, people can go there and get some more information. Now, I just happen to know about it. I'm paying attention to it. Again, I'm not spearheading it. The people that
correct
are giving out the information, Matt Abel and Brandy Zink and Sharmy Golson, and there have been a lot of other good people who have attended the meetings and who have participated in these things. And
we're just trying to make sure that the word is pure and clean, that it's not adulterated by the wrong information.
Right. Yeah. So that's just making sure of that because it's.
Well, it's critical that people have factual information that they're going to act on.
Absolutely.
And right now, what they're doing, I guess they're rallying a bunch of people to help organize the grassroots of this. In other words, they're signing up people currently before the big push on the 12th, supposedly.
Yeah, getting volunteers, right?
Correct.
Right now, yep.
Getting all the background stuff going on.
Now, over the course of January, I'm going to be involved in several of the VGIP, the Vote Green Initiative projects.
Yes, with Ben Horner and Michigan Organic Solutions.
Yes, exactly. And then during that time, that initiative will be represented there, and people can decide to help out with that. Also, in individual cities and towns across the state, there are people trying to do what was just done in Kalamazoo this year and get the LLEP in some form on the ballot locally.
Lowest law enforcement initiative petition, yes?
Lowest level enforcement priority.
Okay, so it's close.
Yep. And so both things, I think, are really strong statements about where people are, what they're thinking, on this issue with marijuana, medical marijuana. And I think they're very important. So there'll be people representing those efforts. And in fact, Chris Childs, kind of a well-known activist and participant.
We know Chris well.
Yeah, he's doing it. He did a lot of the work in Kalamazoo. There's a lot of other people involved.
Worked really hard at that, by the way. He deserves to be nominated for an achievement award for getting that done out there.
Well, absolutely. He is amazing. And Chuck Ream, Tim Beck is going to be helping out. He already started in Detroit, and of course, his got sidetracked by the Election Commission there, and he legally challenged that, and that went to the Court of Appeals, and they're waiting on an opinion right now. So the one in Detroit could be put back on the ballot via the decision of the Court of Appeals.
Well, I mean, how does this possible emergency manager thing in Detroit, does that have any effect on this other? Boy, that's a big question, isn't it? I've never thought about that.
I wouldn't try to tackle that. I don't know how to answer it properly.
Well, I guess I'm posing it hypothetically. I mean, if you got an emergency manager taking over and deciding that, hey, these ordinances and stuff don't matter anyways, how does that affect the ordinances that the people put in place down there on this issue? Boy, that's confusing.
Something to look into, but I imagine there could be some effect.
We should
there
ask.
to be some kind of priorities for the existing resources, though, and as long as it isn't causing a problem, I don't know why they need to make a huge issue out of it.
Right. Well, we should ask Tim Beck if there's any potential outcome, because I'm sure he's got his finger on that pulse a little bit.
Yeah, and he's awaiting his ruling from the Court of Appeals, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. It'll be great to talk to him and see what's going on with that.
Jamie,
and then also, of course, the people still in the legislature who are trying to educate the lawmakers about the upcoming issues that will be in the committees and things about medical marijuana.
Jamie, we're getting ready to go to break. I don't know if you can hear the music or not. We got to cut to break. We'll be right back with more on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away.
Got something to say?
Call now toll free 855-MMM Radio. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Maybe they donated some money to a great cause and it was significant. Or maybe they rolled up their sleeves and got a bunch of people to sign a petition somewhere. Or maybe they organized an election somewhere at some local city and got something done. Or maybe they helped out a sick person in some significant way. Or maybe they held a food drive, for crying out loud. Who knows? But your friend, your activist friend, should definitely be honored on stage in front of a live studio audience with the Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. That's right, it's the first annual Buddy Awards happening at the end of January 29th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Clarion Hotel in Ann Arbor. It's going to be broadcast live. Honor your friend. Nominate them for $25. They get a certificate of nomination. They get invited to the ceremony. They'll go up on stage and be honored on stage in front of that audience. And then at the end, we announce the Buddy Award for the Achievement of the Year Award winner. Nominate your friend at RadioWeedShow.com today. Medical Marijuana Certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at GetPotID.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical Marijuana Certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Green Bee Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Green Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Green Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Green Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now. The Ohm of Medicine is a state-of-the-art facility in Ann Arbor where art and passion meet patience and safe quality access. Get to the place that has top-of-the-line security, atmosphere, art, and most importantly, a highly trained and caring, compassionate staff. And the convenience is clear. Ohm of Medicine is easy to get to in downtown Ann Arbor. Private, well-maintained, handicap-accessible restrooms, convenient, secure parking in 2 nearby lots with complimentary validation. The Ohm of Medicine. Log on to omofmedicine.org. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. The patient's place for medical marijuana education and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
When I was young, I knew something was wrong. my mother would forget to pick me up from school.
Drugs and alcohol may make you forget your problems and more.
Then she remembered something. Me! My mom worked hard to be in recovery, and now she is here for me. Hi, Mom!
You ready? Let's go!
For drug and alcohol treatment for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Moments left in the program. Boy, it goes so quickly, doesn't it? Welcome back to the show, Jamie Lowel from Third Coast Compassion Center in Ypsilanti. Jamie, we're running out of time here on the program. Can you tell us a little bit, wrap up what we were talking about, and tell us maybe what we can look forward to really quickly coming up in 2012 as it relates to this?
Well, I'll tell you real quick. We talked about a lot of things, the statewide constitutional amendment, the individual city and towns, LLEP, people working with their legislature, with their representatives in Lansing, some people getting involved with running for office, Carrie Justice out of Genesee County, I think it's the 51st District, will be in a special election in February to take over for the recalled Republican.
If you're in that district, vote for her.
Yep, people should definitely vote for her, should have her on, of course, next week. Or the next couple of weeks and talk about it. And all these things going on. A vote is at the root of it all.
Absolutely.
So hear about these Vote Green Initiative project meetings going on. Please show up at them, and just all the basic ways we can all, very fundamental, all the basic ways we can all get involved and make a difference is discussed, and all of these different things going on in 2012 will be represented there.
You got to participate. Where's the first place in January that people can participate in the Vote Green Initiative project?
You know, Ben has that schedule. I don't know. I know that we're going to be in Lapeer, in Ann Arbor, in Houghton Lake, and a few other places. And as soon as it's official, we'll get it out there. MichiganOrganicSolutions.com. Check it out. Thank you, Jamie Lowel from Third Coast Compassion Club. I always say club. It's Center. Third Coast Compassion Center at 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Thanks for coming on the show, Jamie. We wish you well during the new year, sir. Thank you. And I want to say real quick, the city of Ypsilanti renewed our license for our dispensary license for 2012. So
hey, congratulations. That's applaudable. Or, okay, it's at least laudable.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on, Jamie. We got Eric Gunnels on from Genesee CCC, Compassion Club, and also FlintTalkRadio.com. Thanks for coming on the program briefly. Eric, it always seems we squeeze you in at the last second, don't we?
Hey, how's it going, Steve? Thanks for having me on the show.
It's my pleasure, sir. Hey, I just wanted to give our audience a quick, brief overview as to what's going on. I'm glad you called because you've got one of the other programs we're talking about. We're launching a network here. Hey, what do you think? I don't know. I haven't figured out which .com I want to put it on yet. We just got some .coms. We bought FriedNice.com. What do you think about Fried Nice? I like it. I don't know.
Right on. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great, Steve. I think it's a great idea. In fact,
well, wait a second. We also got another one here. I think we got BudTV1.com. What do you think of that? BudTV1.
Right on. That's pretty cool.
Either one, we're going to put up a network, and the network is going to begin sometime here in January. We just signed on a whole group of radio programs and television shows from across the nation, many of them here within our own community in Michigan. Eric is one of those programs. It's the Genesee CCC. It's the Genesee Compassion Club's radio show on FlintTalkRadio.com. Eric, you guys are on from 3 to 4 on Wednesdays?
Yes, that's correct. 3 to 4 every Wednesday.
And how can people get a hold of you up there? How can people tune into you? It's just go to FlintTalkRadio.com. Is there another place they go? How do they get there?
No, FlintTalkRadio.com, and there's a number on the screen if you want to be a guest caller on the show. And also, Steve, I'd like to put a thanks up there. Last Wednesday, I put a special thank you to you and your show, Steve, and the hard work that you do. I mean, you're truly a patriot in my eyes, and I want to thank you for having me on the show and being a part of your legacy all this year, and I wanted to wish you the best for 2012, my friend.
Well, thank you, sir. And look, we're not done yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the beginning. I was looking around and seeing what's going on. There's some history about internet television and internet radio programs going back to about 2000 on this. We're coming along late in the game. It's 2012, but guess what? We're just in time to tie all of these programs together in a network, and that's what we're going to do with Bud TV One or with FriedNice.com. I don't know. It's one of the. We'll figure out which one to throw it up on. Point is that you'll be able to find Eric's show, my show, the Planet Green Tree show with Michael Comorn. You'll be able to find the Hidden Stash Radio show, just WTHC's Hidden Stash Radio show with the Smoky Kush, and all of his great guests. We've got these guys out in California. It's Lanny Swerdlow. He runs the THCF clinic out there in California in Loma Linda. They do KCAA's radio show out there. We're going to carry their program. I'm trying to get the John Doe radio show on. He's from Colorado. There's a bunch of shows. We're going to tie them together on one network, and they're going to have regular time slots. It's going to be badass, Eric. It's going to be an awesome thing coming up. And it's all going to be just in time for this legalized campaign, because I've been looking it up, Eric. We're not the only ones. This isn't just us fighting this issue, this very specific issue this year. We've got Canadians are fighting this in their turf. As long as they've had this going on in their places, the conservative people up there have found their ways around our laws too, and they're just nailing people to the doorstep just like you and I. So the Canadians are doing a legalized thing. California's doing a legalized thing. Colorado's doing a legalized thing. We're doing it. It's going to have to happen. It's the only way, Eric. Hello? Did we lose you? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Steve. Yep.
So look, just a few seconds left in the program. Wanted to wish you happy holidays and happy New Year. It's going to be badass this year, Eric.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, Steve, and thank you for doing what you do, my friend. You're a hard-working man.
Bye-bye.
Who says blondes don't have more fun?
Hey, you know what? You don't have to be blonde to be blind.
This guy.
All right. Okay, so it's going to be, good morning. This is Chris of Happy Harvesters Hydroponic Store of Burton, and you're listening to Steve on... Sorry, Steve. Damn it. Good. Okay, so it's going to be good morning. You're listening to the Medical Marijuana Morning Show on RadioWeed.show.com. Good morning. This is Chris of Happy Harvesters Hydroponic Store in Burton, and you're listening to Steve on the Medical Marijuana. Okay, let's try this. So, okay. Yeah, good morning. This is Chris of Happy Harvesters Hydroponics of Burton, and you're listening to the Medical Marijuana Show. Let me write this down so I can... I'm writing it down, but I want to make... Okay. Good morning, this is Chris. Good morning, this is Chris with Happy Harvesters of Burton Hydroponics Store, and you're listening to Steve on... and you're listening... Okay, let me do this 2 more times. Yeah. Good morning, this is Chris with Happy Harvesters Hydroponics of Burton, and you're listening to the Medical Marijuana... Good morning, this is Chris with Happy Harvesters Hydroponic Store of Burton, and you're listening to the Medical Marijuana Morning Show on RadioWeedShow.com.
I say blonde hash works better anyway.
Serving the hash without the browns.
Okay, now say this for me. Hey, Bill Shooty's a butthole.
Bill Shooty's a butthole.